Hello and welcome to a midweek edition of Wardy's Waffle. Hope you've all had a great new year and a Christmas break. It seems to come around very quick, doesn't it, when you stop for Christmas and then start again. Today is Wednesday and this is our first day back, and yeah, it comes around very quick. You can hear on the window, I will show you that, it's raining yet again. So in this update we're going to be looking at some of the water on the fields again, because we've got a lot of flood damage, a lot of water about from the rain we had yesterday. And also we were loading oats. These are the naked oats that we grow, and these go for pet food. And also in front of me we're loading sugar beet. And those of you remember that we decide, or wondering what to do about whether to use our cleaner loader and us do it, or have our contractors do it, GR Ward. Got a lorry just arrived for some oats. This was only arranged this morning, but it's fine because it means we can get them gone and get some money in the bank. But the only thing is, it's throwing it down with rain. Just eased off a little bit, so it's just making loading a bit awkward. So I'm actually just putting a bucket full in the front, middle and back, just to keep the bottom of the lorry coated so it doesn't wet the bottom of the lorry too much. And then we'll fill him up. But these are naked oats, which don't have a husk on, and they go for predominantly the pet food market, and they are quite light. So this bucket would normally hold about 2.5 tons of wheat, but of these oats it won't be more than 2 tons, if that. So the lorries obviously have to be a lot fuller to get the right weight on. Just got some in the top of the bucket there, you can see the heap underneath it. Haven't got this heap very high because the airflow through these isn't quite as good, so I wanted to just make sure at harvest time we got them cooled fairly quickly. So these oats are spring oats, which means they're planted in the spring, and they weren't planted very early last year, so the yield wasn't very good of them. Probably no more than I don't think they did 2 tons the acre. I think they were actually less than that. You can just see by the dust in them. The rain's just coming on harder again, so I'm just trying to get it loaded as quick as possible. Really useful as well. The driver's helping sweep up for me, which is a good thing. I'm just showing you what these oats are like. You can just see they're quite long and thin, if I get it to focus. And they're quite oily. When you feel them like that, because they haven't got a husk on the outside, they're very soft but quite oily as well. It's Wednesday morning and we've had another 20 millimetres roughly of rain yesterday, and I am going to go through all the rainfall figures in one of the updates when I get it all put together. I've been keeping rainfall figures for 27 years and there's some really interesting differences, but believe it or not, 2023 was not our wettest year. That was 2011 or 12, I think, one of those 2 years. So interesting to go through some of these figures and just see what rainfall we've had. But I'll just show you around here some of the rain, some of the water around here just shows you how wet it's been. I've got the yellow lab, that's Sam, my daughter Sam's yellow lab Poppy, here for a few days. Nala and her always get on. Just looking at this songbird feeder that's here. I think some deer have fetched this off. It sits on that post there. It's filling up now. Ruben and Tom went round and filled them up before Christmas. They want filling up again. So all they do somewhere there, it's a bit messy down here, they just hook on. They just hook on there, look. That's it, like that. And it just wants some, there's a bit of food in there, but it is empty, so it wants filling up. Come on, dogs. Frankie's at home with Rhonda. She took one look out the door this morning, I think, and thought, I'm not going out there and all that, went and turned around and went back in. So that little pool of water there's one of my neighbour's fields, but what is really surprising, and it just shows how wet it's been, is the water in these trees. Never seen water stood in these trees before. Just shows there how wet it's been. And also this field out the back here, again, very rarely do I ever see water there. And this field is coming sugar beet this next year. Anna's just gone down to have a look at one of those feeders. She loves going to check the big blue barrels, not the little songbird feeder I've just shown you. Come on. I think the drainage companies are going to be busy this next year or so. I'm just wondering this field whether it wants the drain popping down this track side and into the back, just through there, the other side though, that heap of tarmac planings, that's the back that Barry's going to do out in the next few weeks, and it's even too wet to get on to do that at the minute. Just looking at some of this water, every field you look, everywhere you go, it's just water stood. This one's been bad right from the 20th of October when we first had the rain started. We'll drive down there and look at that in the screen there, because that's in another field in the distance, all the way through here. There's one of our weather stations. Yeah, just looking at the weather stations, we've got 3 of these. We've got this one and another one identical up at the Heath farm. Is Agri have supplied this, and this is linked into their network of stations, so I can access these weather stations all over the country and see what rainfall other parts of the country have. This is obviously getting wind speed and wind direction. This is a solar panel that's used to power it. And then we've got temperature, air temperature as well. This is what this cable's for going down into soil. We've got soil temperature, rainfall in there. So it's quite interesting looking at the data. It's in a great location here, right in the middle of the nowhere, middle of the of a field of a hedgerow, if you like. Then nothing will stop the wind or the temperature from fluctuating. So it's in a real good spot here. Then the other one we've got a send crop, and this is a photo. This is an overlay of the send crop station that we've got, but it's they do work really well, and the amount of data you get out of them is fantastic. So just looking in these trees here, I've had a few people say why we're going to be taking out some of these bushes. Well, when you look, you can see they're growing out the bottom of the bank near the water line. In fact, I can hear a pipe running there. There is a big 6-inch pipe comes under this concrete through here. Yeah, you won't be. I can see it here. Let me see if I can zoom in. There's the pipe. There's a lot of water coming out of that. But you can just see a lot of these trees and bushes growing in the bottom of the water and the dike, and the water there has been held up. So it's all this we're going to be fetching out. So this is the other end of the trees that we've just seen. That pipe was full to the top yesterday. Yeah, the 6-inch pipe there comes out across the middle of this field. It comes out from there right across there, and then there's pipes in the field, what we call herringboned, at an angle all through the middle of the field, every 22 yards apart, into that main 6-inch pipe that goes across the middle of the field. And there's another one up in the middle up here, and there's another one at the end. So that whole field, which is 36 acres, is drained out of 3 6-inch pipes like that, with the water coming out there, colossal. You can see here now all these trees and bushes. You can see where the water was sometime in the night, up this bank, how it's all smoothed down, all the grass. You can see here, holding all the water back. Another example just here of all this debris and all these bushes and growth is in the water. So there we have water going down the windscreen, and yes, we're using their cleaner loader. I will just put the wipers on, and I'm really glad that we are using it, because especially as now it's raining as well, ours would definitely not be doing a very good job. And we'll go and have a look up at that, get near to it when it stops raining, but you can just see the big heap of soil that they've got there. I'm on it too. We've got some bales to move and some beet to move out in the field. You can see there's not a lot of soil going in the lorry now, which is a lot better than our cleaner. Big heap of soil there. This has got a beet basket on. You can see there's gaps in the bucket. We'll have a look in a minute. There you go. Some people prefer those for loading beet. The only thing is you can't quite clear up the pad so well. but it's a good sized bucket, that one. See the beet's all nice and sticky, wet with the soil. See the amount of soil coming out. Small bit of sugar beet there, small bits of chippings and beet, but that, you don't worry about that. There'll be some stones in there as well, which is good to get that out. Because don't forget, the more soil that goes in the lorry and in the factory, the less we get paid. We need the loads to be as clean as possible. There we are, that's another one full. Not quite sure how many loads they've had today. We'll have a look in a minute. Have a word with them. Good job having hard roads and good roads and concrete to store the beet on. Makes so much difference. But you can see this side of this heap's collapsed again. We're going to have to do something different here because it didn't used to keep collapsing like this. I'm not quite sure why it's doing this now. We've got all this beet needs cleaning up here as well. This is the edge of the concrete you can see here, so there's quite a lot of it. Moved a long way. Anyway, Ruben's just moving all the bales with the bale spike and the grab. Just trying to tip the beet off. Another lorry just coming down the lane. Again, the beauty of having plenty of concrete to turn around on. You can see the elevators moving there. Pete's controlling it from inside the cab there. Remote control from there, the engine and the whole workings of the cleaner. That's it, that's far enough under. Hear the engine revving up. It'll soon start. There we go. Got two-way radios in the cabs, always helps, and the lorries to keep in touch and direct a bit underneath here, makes so much easier. You can just see the hopper there before Pete puts another bucket full in. See why it only takes about 5 or 6 minutes to load a lorry. Can't quite see, but in there are the like rotating augers, and they take the stones and the rubbish out. You can see why it does such a good job of cleaning it. There's so many elevators and chains. That's got most of these bales out. Regular viewers of this channel will remember some of the videos I've put up about the floods and about the relief scheme near Lincoln. I'm just on the edge of one of them now, which is actually not far from me. It's about probably 6 or 7 miles from me, where a lot of our farm water goes into. So I'll just flick the camera around and you can just see the amount of water here. So this is the land at Auburn, just on the edge of Lincoln, on the south side of Lincoln. You can just see there's a lot of water through there. That's because this is a designated flood relief scheme to stop Lincoln flooding, but the problem is in October, November it wasn't released quick enough, so Lincoln still had a lot of water in it, more than what it should have done, and this goes into the Witham, which is further up there, but you can just see the amount of water here, and I'll do a bit of a feature on this on another day, but this is just to show you how much water's come our way. And there is the apparatus and the sort of sluices that they open up to flood all that land behind where the sheep are on. Now you can just see there, the sheep are there, but the Environment Agency have got to give the farmers so many hours notice. I'm not quite sure how many it is to get livestock off before they flood it, because once they open that, it will just go across that land in next to no time. But we'll have a look at this a bit another day. But you can just see it's on the edge of a busy road just here. And this isn't the River Witham, this is the Brant. And I'll just show you this on the edge of this grid reference. If anybody wants to just Google this, you can see exactly where we are. So this is Brant control site. That's where I am, if anyone wants to have a look at that. So that's it for another midweek update. Thanks very much for watching. Just before you go, I've just had a text and a video from my godson Henry to say the river near him has just burst its bank and the bank's just collapsed yet again. This is a video he sent me only about 2 hours ago and saying that it was about to go. And when you can see this trickling out and the amount of water and the pressure behind it, you can see why now he's just said the bank's gone. So he's busy now getting all the sheds emptied, trying to get straw out, get things moved, because the water's just pouring across his land, and also across another area here near Bardney that one of the farmers went when the river went in one of my other videos a few weeks ago. Anyway, we'll have more of this in Sunday's update. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on Sunday.